There's that old term, willpower. But what is that? What is willpower? I think when most people think of willpower, they think it's the ability to resist something that is bad for us. And with that meaning, there comes responsibility with that meaning. Willpower is just what Morpheus said it was in the movie The Matrix. It is the ability to change things at will. Have you ever pulled into a parking lot? Maybe you pulled into your local supermarket, and right up front, you find a parking spot that is right where you need it to be. Not by chance, but because you pulled into that parking lot with that intention. Better yet, when you are in the supermarket ready to check out, you are able to break up the waiting line for checkout, and you are in and out of there just as you intended. Now, when this occurs, most of the time people are doing this subconsciously, which is the main reason most people will end up parking in a bad spot. They can't find the product they're looking for, and they end up waiting to check out for 20 minutes. Most people don't understand while moving through life that they have the ability to manipulate space-time and the environment around them. So they live in a kind of default mode where whatever happens, happens. So in this mode, people get a lot of what they don't want and very little of what they do want. There is a dynamic here. While the universe is busy shifting around places, people, and circumstances, you are moving from one place to another, from one person to another, from one circumstance to another. And if you are formulating your thoughts correctly, you should end up in the right place at the right time. Or you may end up in events where the timing and location are bad. When that happens, go back and work out those thoughts. Sometimes bad things happen to us so that better things can happen to us. You see, you can't create matter. You can't manifest what you want out of thin air right in front of you, but you can move matter that already exists toward you so that it ends up in front of you. You can also manipulate matter that already exists by manipulating what is in front of you already. That is connected to what you want. Mind over matter. This is willpower. It's a technique that involves visualization. We're not talking about big dreams here that are long-term goals. No big dream boards or fake checks. It is visualization using the imagination to direct changes. I was recently sent a video created by an influencer who used Neville Goddard's formula to create a YouTube channel. If you don't know who Neville Goddard is, he was an influencer himself. He wrote on the interests of the esoteric interpretations of the Bible, mysticism. As a teacher of self-help, he thought the Bible to be based on an idea rather than actual historical events, and that you are the creator. So this YouTube influencer or content creator gives you some background on how he achieved 35,000 subscribers in 10 weeks, and he gives you some insight as to how to approach this. There's a quote by Neville Goddard that goes, "Change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. Revalue yourself and they will confirm the change." One of the things that I realized when applying a lot of these manifestation techniques is that you have to set yourself up for success. In other words, you have to set things up for the things that you want. Think of it this way. When you are sure you're going to have guests come to your house, I'm not talking about your family or friends. I'm talking about people you like. Anyway, what you do, you clean house, right? Because you are expecting a special guest to arrive shortly. Now, what if you weren't expecting anyone, but maybe you desire to have company? What you do is you clean house and prepare it for that special guest that you may have not met yet. Do you understand? You are setting yourself up as if you know it is going to happen. So in case of someone starting a YouTube channel, you're setting yourself up to receive a lot of viewers and a lot of subscribers. You create a channel name that you know thousands of people are going to see. You create an artistic banner that you know thousands of people are going to see. You pick topics that you know thousands of people are going to tune into. You create content that you know thousands of people are going to engage in. And so while you are creating, you have that in your mind. Tell yourself, maybe I won't discuss this topic because I know that thousands of people are going to see this. Or maybe you tell yourself, I can't wait to talk about this subject because I know thousands of people are going to see this and I want this message to get to them. I'm not talking about millions of people because it still has to be something that is big enough for you to get excited about, but yet still small enough that you absolutely believe it. I'm still talking about short-term goals here. What happens in this case is people use the techniques and then they look at the results and say to themselves, this isn't working because the numbers don't show the results they were looking for. So that brings us to another part of this. You want to use those numbers. You want to look at those documents, those reports, those analytics as a tool for visualization. Because what you are going to do is you're going to visualize those numbers increasing right before your eyes. An easier way to do this is with a line graph. If you are looking at a line graph, you simply visualize that line going up in the next report. Here's a cool trick. You can try out just for fun if you have an EMF detector, or you can even get one of those EMF detector apps for your phone. What you do is you move that detector close to some electronic device just to get a reading, and then with your mind try and see if you can make that number go up or down just by visualizing it. You know how to train your body to get stronger and faster physically? You train your mind the same way. You work it out. You practice. You walk around and see what numbers you can change in the environment around you just by visualizing. Trust me, when you succeed at doing this and actually get those numbers to move to where you imagine them to be, it's going to feel a bit spooky. And you're going to question how powerful you really are. Here's another quote with that said. Chance or accident is not responsible for the things that happen to you, nor is predestined fate the author of your fortune or misfortune. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. The subconscious is not selective. It is impersonal and no respecter of persons. The subconscious is not concerned with the truth or falsity of your feeling. It always accepts as true that which you feel to be true. Feeling is the assent of the subconscious to the truth of that which is declared to be true. Because of this quality of the subconscious, there is nothing impossible to man. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and feel as true, the subconscious can and must objectify. Your feelings create the pattern from which your world is fashioned, and a change of feeling is a change of pattern. Now, I'm not a motivational speaker, I'm not a life coach or a guru, and I am not a knowledge bank on the subject. I feel my intent is to spread awareness on this matter, because whether we like it or not, these laws that govern the universe are going to work. If we just walk around and allow the subconscious mind to create our world around us, then life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But if you are aware of why things happen to you, everyone else outside of yourself starts to become blameless. You start coming up with less excuses. Once you accept the power and responsibility when bad things happen to you, you gain the power to have good things happen to you. I myself have been struggling with this for a long time, and the reason is my awareness of it. See, I could get upset, frustrated, angry, and blame everyone and everything for something bad happening to me, but at the end of the day, I know what happened. And the trick to this is, you have to go back to what happened, what you were thinking, what you were doing before the event. Not what happened during the event. The event is over. You have to go to what happened prior to that. It's just like a car accident. The accident may make you feel scared, frustrated, you may be in pain. You have to go back maybe a day, a week, or 2 weeks ago to figure out when was the last time you felt fear, frustration, and pain. Because when that happens, the universe wants to bring you more of that. No. Here's the thing about the law of attraction, the law of the universe, or anything like it. And maybe this will sound a bit weird for me to say this, but when you start using these techniques you read in books or watching videos or listening to on audios, there should be a red warning label. Because more often than not, when people start using these techniques, bad things happen. And I've mentioned this before. The universe is shifting things around you. Some things are shifting far away from you, so you can't see what's happening, but things are shifting very close to you as well. Sometimes these shifts are very dramatic, life-changing shifts. And that is because the universe loves speed. If you were sitting there praying to God for this and that, and the universe is put to work, when things start to shift, you don't want to be just sitting there. Which brings me to an important dynamic that I really don't see emphasized as much from other people, and that is movement. You have to move your body. You have to move your body around in space-time. Remember, what you want wants you. And in many cases, you have to move towards it as it is moving towards you. When I'm talking about willpower, let me tell you what I mean. You wake up in the morning, and this is just an example. Everybody's day is different. But you wake up, stretch a bit, get out of bed, and you start thinking about maybe how nice a warm cup of Java would be at your favorite local coffee shop. You can even smell the baked goods and coffee before you even get there. Now here's the funny thing. Once you put out that thought that you want that coffee and you are going to get it, it's almost as if you are starting a timer. So you can't just go and sit back down. No, you have to get in the shower, get dressed, get out the door, and get to the coffee shop. And think about if this has ever happened to you. When you get there, in good timing, because you took immediate action, the coast is clear. There is no line. Everybody is up, bright, happy, and as soon as you get your order, here comes the crowd. This happens to me quite often. It's like parting the Red Sea. And if I stay in one location too long, the sea closes back up on me. It's almost as if a path is being cleared for you to have easier access to get to where you want to get to so that you can get what you want. On that note, I gotta go get my day moving.